Hello there, this is David here, and this is a quick video about how to keep your game safe from viruses and free when you insert objects and models from the free models toolbox. And I had made a video on this previously, but I didn't realize that my voice wasn't recording, so I'm just going to go through this very quickly again. So the main tool that you're going to be using is the Explorer window. You can also use the Properties window, but which makes things a bit easier. But this track has a few viruses in it. Let's see. Let's open it up, and if we have a look in some of the objects within this, here we can see that there's this weird RotateP class object, and if I keep going through this, oh gosh, there's a lot more in this one. If we keep going through some of the objects in here, not all of them, but you can see there's these objects that are cluttering up the model, and what we want to do is get rid of all of these. You got owned. Yeah, right. So the easiest way to do it is to type in the filter up here, the object that you're looking for. So if there's a virus script or fire object or one of these, you want to have a look at you want to click on the object, have a look what class it is, and then delete everything with the same name. Now, this can take a long time, depending on how big the model is, how many viruses there are in the model. That's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is to give your model a unique name. So, clean this model. Let's call it. Let's copy that name, and you want to have the command prompt open at the bottom here. You can open that by going to the View tab and clicking Command Bar, so that opens it up. Sometimes it does get a bit buggy. You might have it on here, but it might not appear. So if that happens, just disable it, re-enable it. And the reason why I make highlight of this is because you can actually make a very quick script that will go through the list of items within a model and delete items with a certain class. So to do that, we need to get our model first. So let's say m equals game.Workspace, and then the name of the model, which in this case I've called it clean this model. So game.Workspace. So we start off with the game, which you can't actually see, workspace, and then clean this model. And it's always separated by a dot. That's how you make reference to different objects. That's how you make references to brick color, let's say. That's how you do it through Roblox's scripting language called Lua. Anyway, back to the cleaning part. Let's actually... where's that gone? So there's the virus again. So what we want to do is we want to do a for loop. So for I, comma v in pairs, and then one of these curly bracket things. M, which we've referenced here. M equals game.Workspace.CleanThisModel. GetDescendants, and you can see there's a little pop-up there that's appeared. That makes things a bit easier. GetDescendants, curly brackets, and then another curly bracket to close this thingy here. Actually, tell you what, I'm going to write it out in a script, and then it's a bit easier to see. Let's put it in here. Let's put it in one of these. This is the smart way of doing it. So you might be able to see a bit better now. So once we've got this, we type do. And what this is going to do is it is going to get the list of every single object within this model, within this, regardless whether it's in another model or another part or anything like that. It's going to get every single object within this model, which is super useful. I don't think they used to have this this feature a few years ago, but now they do, and it's awesome. So it's going to get every single object, and all you have to do is if v. So I is the index of what object you're looking at. So let's say we start here. This is index 1, index 2, index 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. And that's how you. And that's just a quick reference to which objects in the list we're up to. Whereas v is the value or the actual object. So this is an object, this is an object, this is an object, and it'll go through all this list and it makes repetitive scripting very easy. So what do we do after this? We want to get the class of this object. So if v is a, and we can see that the class name is RotateP. So RotateP, then v destroy. Now all I need to do is select all of that, copy it in here, paste it into there, and when I press enter, you can see all those objects have gone. Now, was that easy? That was easy. And you can go through the whole list. You can even type in RotateP at the top here, and there's no objects that appear. Now, there are some other types of viruses. That wasn't really a virus. That one. It was more of a just something that got repeated over and over again. The things you do have to watch out for is scripts. Is a script. So that's part of my game. That's part of my game. So here, clean this model. You can see that there are some scripts in this model. They look like just the scripts for these cars. So if I open one up, car touched. That's just a collision script, which is not that big of a deal. But sometimes you'll get scripts that are purposely made to spam your game. These are usually included with fire objects. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can fire. Let's see if we can find one of these objects. Fire spread remover. Oh, this is a remover. I don't actually recommend getting any antivirus scripts from the Toolbox. Some of them can be good, but in majority of cases they're only spread the virus further and make your game extremely slow. This is not really a virus itself. This might be one. Yeah. Well, the reason why I say about look out for fire objects is because this is a graphical object. It can be quite demanding on most systems, and what the virus will actually do is it'll just duplicate that fire object multiple times throughout your game. So as long as your game is running, it'll keep replicating it. That actually looks pretty cool. But as you can imagine, the more that the more fire objects there are, the more lag you're going to have. So same sort of principle. If you have a fire object in your game and it's related to a script, or it looks like it's if it's in a model that you've included, chances are it's going to be a virus. The best thing to keep your game safe, you're better off destroying those objects. And if you're worried about destroying anything that might break the model, then you can always just reinsert the model and keep using that. It's not a big deal. But yeah, that's a very quick way of how to keep your game free of viruses. So yeah, I hope you've learned something with this, and I hope you don't install any more viruses for your games, because I've come across a few games that have, and they lag so much. It's ridiculous. and I've done it myself. When I first started Roblox, I didn't know about these viruses within the toolbox, anything like that. So my games most likely had viruses, and I didn't know about them. So yeah, keep an eye out for them, destroy them as best as you can, and yeah, keep developing. Thanks for watching, and ta-ba.